Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So what are we doing tonight? Well, tonight we are going to be working on the preliminary information for Endless Adventures. Game set in Amplitude Studios' Endless series. A RTS, no, not really RTS, turn-based strategy 4X game covering the life and death of Rugia, an endless legend, to the fate of the cosmos in Endless Space and Endless Space 2, though everyone might know it by Big Fish Tit Mommy. Don't worry, everyone else does it too. Thanks, Seth. Love you to pieces. But what are we working on tonight? What's the gist? What's the game? What's the thing? What's the wiggity whack? Well, it's going to be me mostly debating with myself how to do things properly. Because we're finally here, which is odd to say, because it doesn't feel like I should be here. I remember when I, first put it on the list, and I was like, it's going to be a long time before I get here, and it has been. But Endless Adventures is a game that we're going to be making together. It's going to be an odd one. It is a bit late. It is a little after midnight for me there, Salmon. I got caught up in doing things, and I didn't realize what time it was until it was a bit too late. But I say I stream every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Unless today is technically Thursday. But let's not get into semantics. But I said I was going to stream, so I'm going to stream. This won't be a long one, though. We're going to be mostly covering what the gist is. Yeah, it is, but we don't talk about that. You live in crazy town. You live in the faraway places. But yeah, welcome to Endless Adventures. The Endless series presents a few interesting challenges that you wouldn't really think of in a game like this. You'd think, man, Endless Adventures, awesome. It's gonna Endless Legend, boom, done. Heroes are already in. Endless Space, boom, done. Space system, you can do it, lad. Let's do it. But weirdly enough, the parts of Endless Space and Endless Legend make things a bit complicated. Most notably, well, one of the most important key aspects of things being dust. Dust is such an enigmatic force, and the lore of Endless Space and the Endless series in general is so endless. There's a lot of it. I think that kind of leads to one of the difficulties people have had adapting this game to the tabletop more than anything, because there's so much of it. But also, it makes no goddamn sense if you look at it. That's one of the tragedies of this game, of the series anyway, is that the game is constrained by the fact that it is a 4X game. Well, a lot of the series is a 4X game, unless Dungeon of the Endless is like a tower defense game. I've seen gameplay on it. It always looks weird to me. And the new one, they have I'm going insane. I guess they announced a new game which was a action RPG set in the Endless world. That doesn't look anything like any other game, really. And Amplitude's been kind of focusing on humankind for a while now, so the Endless lore has issues. A lot of issues. One of the main ones being that everyone has to start from ground zero. However, the world assumes that things aren't from ground zero. What do I kind of mean by that? Well, consider this as a path. You know, this is our path going from end date, from the end of the universe to the start of the universe. Now, the difficulty is we are assumed to start about here, roughly. That's where the start of the game is. Everyone has developed space flight and is going to cross the stars, or everyone has, you know, settled down and it's time to build our empire from dust. However, most of the game, how the lore would like you to believe it, is here. It is kind of in this, like, people have already developed. The roving clans already have economies set up. The ardent mages already have their complicated, you know, pain magic systems set up. The Sophons have already developed sciences. The Unfallen have already discovered technology. It leads to this very bizarre moment where it feels like you're missing that middle part of everything has begun, where we see it, and the world saying, well, of course there are galactic stock exchanges and everyone is totally massive and everything's great and wonderful, but you've met one other species. It's just you two in the galaxy now. Just you two. That's just how the game functions. And there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, it's a video game at the end of the day, and that's something we always have to consider with it, is that it is a video game to be played by people wanting to play a video game. So, roughly speaking, we're not going to be starting at turn 1 of a game of Endless Legend or Endless Space. We're more going to be on turn 150. We already have the infrastructure planned out. You know, there are cities, there are people, there are problems. But we also have the unknown is still kind of out there, but it's on the fringes of things. But we also have that everyone is still players in the game. If you go too far, you end up, well, people are gone. It's, oh no, Horatio has such a large and expansive empire. No, he doesn't. I bombed him into the ground. Or, oh no, the Cravers are such a massive threat to civilization. They're not. I bombed them into the ground. Oh wow, the United Empire is such a powerful force. It is, because I've literally just bought half the galaxy now. Or in, like, Endless Legend, it's like, oh, the Ardent Mages are very scary because they're massive, but they're small cities, but they're always big. No, the Ardent Mages are hyper expanded and ate 3 continents already. Alright, cool. Fuck me, I guess. Or, oh no, they've risen, what are they called? Morgwar? Have risen from the depths and we're all screwed. Oh no. They've risen from the depths 150 turns ago. And now they've taken over 3 cities, and now been in a constant state of warfare with them for the past 30 fucking turns. I want to kill them all, and they awful. I hate Morgrush so much. Never play Morgrush in a multiplayer game with me. I will kill you. But this leads to an interesting situation with Endless Space. A very interesting and very problematic one, being that you have to accommodate everything. Every single part of the game needs to be in there, but it also has to not be in there at the same time, which is going to be complicated. So, if you consult my notes here, these notes were written a while ago. These are a few months old at this point. But one of the key things is, I was going to have a class system. This seems kind of, I have to integrate it because that's what the game has. That's what the base systems have. And Endless Space 2... I said, hello, phone. Hero classes. Hero class. Academy. So you have the 4 classes of Overseer, Guardian, Seeker, Counselor. That's great. We can work with this. This is fine. However, this is where things get a little bit more complicated. These classes suck. Because they assume a 4X game. So what did I end up having to do is we have the Overseer, the Seeker, the Guardian, and the Counselor. The Seeker wants to find things. The Guardian's going to defend people. The Counselor was kind of the odd duck out. The Counselor is like the diplomacy guy. The Overseer was kind of the odd duck out because that's your governor hero. That's when you slap in a city or slap on a system and let them do their job. That's it. They don't do anything else. Because the heroes we're going to be having to work with, the heroes that we have to assume to play, are not the heroes that we're going to see in the game. Which is an odd way of saying things, but bear with me. So, of the 4 classes, I was debating on a leveling system. I didn't know if I wanted to do that or not. I don't even know what system I want to use. That's the funny thing. But this is why we're here, and this is why we do things. Let's see. We have the TL system, the tech level system. So I'm going to segment this part off. This works from what the intention is. And luckily, this system also works. Well, more accurately, this system. Because we already have this done. That's the funny thing. We already have the point-buy system done through Slaves of Chaos. With Slaves of Chaos done, we don't got to worry about that as much. The only issue is this question over here, which I'm gonna have to ask Amplitude more than anything. Is these ones are complicated right here. And one of the complicated parts is, do races with unique mental states or body compositions, they must abide by their natural state of affairs, or once exposed to dust, they are free to do as they please. What does this mean? What this means is, can a craver be anything other than a craver? Lore says one thing, hero descriptions say another, and if you were to ask anyone else, you'd get about a dozen different answers, and that's one of the key issues that I gotta ask here. That's the hard part about the setting, is that, again, it is a 4X game. Yes, there is a Craver hero, because the Craver faction needs a set of heroes to slot to its planets to synchronize with its own abilities. But can a Craver escape who they are? I would say I am leading more toward this. That's my philosophy on the matter. Is once you're exposed to dust, that just morphed in front of my eye. That's horrifying. I didn't know it did that. Once you're exposed to dust, the biomechanical super drugs, super money drugs, you're effectively, you break the shackles of your own quote humanity. You're above, you are a step above, you are a hero. You are someone above others. This leads to some complicated issues when we come down to things like Endless Legend, when we get things like the Broken Lords. Are all of the Broken Lords technically heroes because they're composed of dust? Or are they not? Or is it only like a organic thing can become a hero if they ingest dust? And does that mean that we can't play Broken Lords in this game? Because no Broken Lord can become a hero, but there are heroic Broken Lords. Which is like... I think the only other... The Cravers are one of the issues. Unfallen are another big one. The fucking tree guys. I love the Unfallen. I think they're a cool race with cool lore, cool and it's really neat aesthetics. I have no goddamn idea how to put them in. Absolutely none. And because you get, let's see, let's do, pulling up the Academy. Turn down the music a little bit so I don't deafen myself. Where is the notepad document? Okay. Because, like, alright, these make sense. She makes sense. He makes sense. Ooh, now we're getting to some things that get a little bit quick minds and like, alright, we can kind of make it work if you apply the logic of we have to use the second incarnation of the Unfallen, which is a completely different thing. Someone's pinging me. And then you get things like this. How are you supposed to put this in as a character? The Pulsos, it's... apologies, someone is aggressively pinging me about... Like, how did you even integrate a character like this? Or do you even bother trying to? Because it's, oh, our bodies are composed, like, are animated because of dust. So it's like, what? Uh-huh. What do you mean they're animated of dust? And then it's like, oh, like, okay, robots, can they be infected with dust? Let's see, it's got... Like, he's not exposed to dust. Is this character, Kalen Fediska, because he's just one of the assassin robots who are now no longer bound. Is he infected by dust? I don't know. So does that mean we have to add robot faction? Like, robots to things? And we aren't gonna... If we don't look at the Riftborn can't hurt us. And then humans. Why God are humans the way they are? Like, oh Lord, because humans are their own thing. And okay, I'm getting off track a little bit, but I always get off track when it comes to these things. But that's gonna be probably my 1-2 is something like this. But I'm also gonna have to give me 1 second. Yeah, I have no idea how I'm gonna handle the robot because you get the remnants. Like, you're gonna have to put Void Yanni in there because it's endless space, so you have to put the Void Yanni in. You know, and these aren't even everyone. This is not even a part of it. Okay. So, again, the tier list, in an ideal world, one of the ideas is that you're going to go from Endless Legends all the way to Endless Space. being like, and I want to be able to run both. I want, in an ideal world, you can run both an Endless Legend game and an Endless Space game using the same system, having the same ideas present throughout. With the catch being is that you can bring your Endless Legends character into Endless Space, because Endless Legend takes place in the Endless Universe. You can actually visit the planet Arugia. And Arugia sucks, and you should just glass it from orbit like a good Craver. But like, all right, since we can do this, this TL system is going to get interesting real fast, because you have to balance everything around it. Oh, they're pinging me because of a joke. Why are... CTL, so... Half of me wants to do a leveling system, the other half of me doesn't. I don't know what I want to do yet. But we want to do the class system, that's going to be it. So we need to integrate everything together. I have no notes on what system I want to use. To the lexicon. It's going to have to be a lighter system, I know that much. Actually, I damn well know it. It's going to have to be a lighter system, due to the fact that we're going to have to integrate a lot of different parts to it. So maybe... Okay, let's think of options right now. As I stare at this screen, and it's getting serious when I stand up. So 3d6 pool, we have a 3 to 18 margin, and that means most characters can probably have attributes ranging from about -2 to 2. Put in a skill system, maybe? I don't know about that, though, but maybe dice pool system. Simple D6. D10, maybe? D10 dice pool system could work. You have a little bit of swings, 7-ups. Yeah, 7-ups might work. Put in health levels, make it a little bit pulpier. But do we want to nail the feeling of Endless Space? How do you describe the feeling of Endless Space? That's the question. Endless Space is a game. Okay, Endless Legend is a game about adventuring. Endless Space is a game about adventuring. Ultimately, it's a game about exploring a great wide world you don't quite fully understand. So, if we want to go into that, we want to make things a little bit pulpier, maybe. So, if we make things a little bit pulpier, we'll probably want... keep things lighter, less dice, less crunch. We're gonna have to keep things not very crunchy at all, though. That's the thing with larger systems. You're either gonna have to commit in one direction. You're either gonna go full crunch or you're gonna go full light. If you go full crunch, that means you have more options for players. But if you go full light, that means the GM is allowed to put in more options of their choice. So that may not be the worst decision in the world. Unless I use Slaves of Chaos system. Slaves of Chaos system uses each race has a dice pool. Was that a cumulative or was it a success based? cumulative. I believe it was cumulative. Playing slaves to chaos. Playing slaves to chaos. Player makes enrolled individual champion, whether by attempt to action, chance failure, checks call, champion is rolled. Attribute dice plus skill dice plus modifiers attempt to pass a target number with a number of their die, scoring a success. Anytime a champion rolls a 1, they botch and lose a success. If the check is equal, anytime check is equal or above 1 success, then champion is successful. Check is 0 or below, they fail the action. It's not even cumulative, it's a success system. It's a success system based around... It's a success system based around pretty much dice pools. Unless... So we want to go to... Creating race. Attributes. 5 attributes. Body, bravado, finesse, reason, spirit. Alright. Alright. So we're going... Perhaps add a... God, this is natural dodge and everything, too. So unless I'm gonna have to change everything. Fuck. Alright. Okay, so if we're using... We don't want to use this system. I don't think the system is going to work at all for what this game is going to be. Slaves to Chaos was a game mostly based around not really... You're not making that many rolls in Slaves to Chaos. That wasn't the point of it. The point was the situation around it. So maybe... I have been reading up along the ubiquity system quite a bit. Maybe steal some aspects from that. Because the ubiquity system, all that is roll dice, evens are successes, odds are failures. That's it. Doesn't matter what else, what die you roll, whether it's D4s, D6s, D10s, D20s, D5000s. If it's an even, it is a success. If it is an odd, it is a failure. So maybe, perhaps, we can do something with that. So if we do something like that. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, help me. I always hate when I'm in a situation like this because I can see it in my head. I can see it in my head how it plays. I can see the game working. I could see the players sitting around the table being like, okay, I'm a big 4-armed alien man, and being like, all right, I want to move up. I'm moving up behind cover. I want to make sure that I can ambush my enemies quickly. Like, all right, boom, done. Perhaps. I don't think cumulative systems are going to work. I don't think just adding a bunch of numbers together is going to work. Oh, it could work. What do I want to do? Do I want to go unique? Or do I want to play it safe? Both have their benefits. Both have their drawbacks. Got to think about it, though. Got to think about it. Unless we integrate size into things, maybe. make it a... Put a few derived attributes in. If we put a few derived attributes in, that means we can make characters, give them a little bit more oomph behind them. Oh, you're a size 1, you're a size 2 enemy. Okay, so we can use that as an idea. How else do I want to see this? How else do I want to see this? Me am game, me am see, me think, me... There's 3 people here, and awesome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Notepad Loses His Fucking Mind. Okay. We need skills. That's going to be a necessary thing. We are going to need skills. So, if we have that base idea that we need skills, how else do we want to do things? We're going to have attributes and skills. Simple attributes, advanced attributes, I don't know yet, but we'll work with that. So we have attributes plus skills equals result. So if we have attributes plus skills equals result, maybe... I keep going back on it, but I'm thinking dice pool system. I think that's what I'm going to have to work with. I'm not fully on it yet, but I'll work with it. Nah. This is the problem, is I'm getting... Everything's there now. I can see it. And I had it before. I wrote it down somewhere. I can't remember where. But I wrote it down and I can see it. Okay, we'll use a dice pool system. Let's just commit to it right now. Dice pool system. Attributes plus skill equals success. Maybe the... variable die values, maybe? Give people a little bit more oomph behind things. Do 4-up die values. If we use 4-up, that means we're allowed to... What system uses that? God, I wrote something like this before, and I can't remember what fucking game it was. Let's see it. Yeah, you joke, Cat, but this is how I think sometimes. It's just this... I can see what I need to see. Was it Nautamons? No, it wasn't Nautamons. Oh, God, it's gonna drive me insane. Wasn't Slave to Chaos. Wasn't Tainted Bloodlines. Wasn't Table Talk. Wasn't Standard Issue. Wasn't Sold Out Sans Identité. Was it Saga of King Arthur? No, it's not Saga. It cannot be Saga. I refuse to believe it's Saga. I would be amazed if it was Saga. Yeah, I'm still flummoxed that I wrote this game. I still have I barely have any recollection of it. No, this is 2D10 system. I fucking knew it. Oh wow, we got 5 people. Oh God, why are you all here? Wasn't sold out. Was not sold out. It's not Sold Out Sans Identité. I know it's not. It cannot be Sold Out Sans Identité. What game were you? See, this is the problem with writing all these damn games. Is that when you finally get an idea, you can't remember which one it was. But so pretty much the idea was a stacking dice pool system with a success of 4. The success of 4. So with the D4, you can roll 1 success, D6, 2 success, D8. You can technically roll 2 successes here. That was the big thing. You got 2 successes here, and then every subsequent one you can get more. It says every iteration of the number 4 you are getting more successes. More successes, good. 1 second. Yeah. There. Now, if I can only remember what game it was, it'd make my life a hell of a lot easier. It wasn't Caps. Nautamon? No, it's not. I'm going to look at Nautamons, even though I know it's not Nautamons. If it is Nautamons, I'm just gonna fucking throw myself out of a window. Wait, I can't throw myself out my window anymore. They locked it. Damn it. No, this was a D20 game. Nautamons was D20. I should put a note in here for myself on every single one of these damn folders. You know, like, this is what the damn game is. Notepad. You should know this. Project Tactics. Grug. Not Grug. Where are you? Regardless, I'm gonna have to pretty much the stacking dice pool system. Wait, was it? I just read. Oh god, I've hit all the wrong buttons again. I just read Slaves to Chaos wrong. Oh, you know, it's gonna bother me until I find it. If you all know that. That's who I am. I'm the kind of guy who gets really annoyed if he can't remember something. Let's see. There's... No, this was 2468. Who do we appreciate? No, okay. I'm not going insane. But the base concept of this system was just this. And it seems relatively simple. But it did, if I remember correctly, it did leave the way open for, God, English is easy. I swear I speak English as a first language. This is what happens when I get hyped. When the idea bubbles in my, when the idea noggin gets going, I can actually finally think and get the noggin going, and sometimes I don't understand what the hell I'm saying. Which is, fun facts, when I was very young, they actually had to put me in speech therapy for this exact thing. Because my head went faster than my mouth. And that is what's happening right now. Usually when I get hyped, as I like to call it, it goes. I don't get hyped often. Hence why I usually like drinking during this time, so my brain goes down. Okay, so if we use a stacking dice pool system, then we can tie tray space characteristics. Speaking isn't easy. That was actually one of the reasons why I started this entire streaming thing, was to help me enunciate my thoughts better. Because if you've ever heard of rubber duck coding, the idea is the programmer will put a rubber duck next to them and speak to it, going over their code. And usually if you say it, if you're speaking it, you'll be able to identify things that are wrong. Because usually what happened before I started really doing this as often as I have, what I would do is pretty much just think. It would just be me, like, for hours, just going back and forth on things and thinking and mumbling to myself. See, I always like bouncing. Again, I like bouncing off people. It's great. You're not a fucky ducky. I'm sorry, Salmon. Go yell at Eero if you want. Eero, if you want to be that. Let's see, for each race-based characteristics. Each race-based characteristic, then each hero has a value associated. Each hero has a value associated with that characteristic and a number of skills, which add extra dice. So, what this core idea is, and this was back in Slave to Chaos as well, is I am a naturally strong race. I am tough. I am big. I am scary. I might have a D10. I might have a D12 in my brawn, we'll call it for now. My brawn attribute. But a scholar among my people may only have 1d12 brawn. We're naturally tougher. We're naturally stronger. But I don't focus on that. But someone else of another race, of a much smaller race, traditionally weaker, may have a 6d4 in their brawn. They're not nearly as strong naturally. However, they have trained for it. They know the limits of their strength, and they've surpassed it. They are the, Charles Atlas of their people. Who is going to be more successful? Because technically, he can roll 6 successes, and I, as a 1d12, can only roll 3 successes. Because he can he has more dice than me. And statistically speaking, he's probably going to be more successful than me, but raw nature says I'm probably going to be stronger than him. If we compare these, 1d4 to 1d12, yeah, I'm stronger than you. But when you start adding on dice, that's where things get a little bit funky. So we also get a little bit, so let's say I have a 3d10 brawn, and I'm going to use my melee weapon. So I might add a 2d8 melee weapon skill to it. So I would be rolling 3d10 plus 2d8, trying to reach 4s. Get a few 4s, congratulations. I win, I get points, I'm coolio, and I'm able to hit you. Which, alright. Yeah, well, that's what we'll do. That works. So, no, classes. How are you going to put the classes in there? I don't know yet, but we're going to think about that later. Let's see. That could also play a little bit into how we might do robot races. Because if we go into the idea that like a robot, like if let's say a quote natural race is going to have a selection of attributes that are just going to be them inherently. So let's say what's a random endless space race? We don't want to use humans, they're a little bit. Let's use okay, let's use one of these. Okay, there we go. A Lumeris. Now, the Lumeris might have a base D8 in their brawn, might have a D10 in their charisma, a D6 in toughness, and a D8 in smarts or whatever. That might be what their base race is. However, my character, or what we'll do now, actually for a built race, for example, let's call it the Riftborn, they might have something like this. So their attributes might be just D6s across the board. Actually, it might be like a D6, you know, brawn, charisma, toughness, smarts. It might just be very simple across the board. However, they're also going to be able to say, oh, well, I'm going to install parts on me. You know, I have a bunch of parts that, you know, bump this up by 2. So naturally, we're only a D6, but with these parts I have on, I have a D10. That could work. So you'd probably have to design a race from the... So a race would have to pretty much be composed, like straight off the bat, would be having to... Natural or construct would be like the first thing. Unless... And then we have to ask ourselves what the fuck a Craver would be. What the fuck Unfallen would be. Because an Unfallen is a tree person, so... Would that be a natural or a construct? You'll ignore those problems for now. So... Alright, so stacking dice pool with options. We'll probably go with a larger number of skills than usual. But what we can do is tie the classes into some of the skills. So you're going to have your natural race skills. You're also going to have your natural... Yeah, no, same. I was getting freaked out by it a little bit. I'm like, have I truly lost it? Yeah, it's like a small GIF. Look. Which, speaking about GIFs, I get to have a fun and exciting adventure. Oh, people are pinging me. Ah, yes, hello, person. Commenting that, hey, endless space lore is complicated. I'm like, yeah, you don't fucking say, mate. But, yeah, I might have to yell at Amplitude. Be like, Amplitude. Please, I need answers. Even, like, the official endless space lore subreddits and stuff are like, what are humans? I'm like, this is not the questions I need. I need to know, do Cravers have souls? Like, I need to go into these philosophical questions. But, alright, yeah, we can tie some of the skills to the class and maybe make the class a little bit more... So maybe we do something like class gives base skills, gives bonus attributes, equipment maybe? No. Maybe make the classes more like archetypes. That might be for the best. So you can have, let's say, a Craver Guardian is going to be acting a lot different than a Merzi Guardian. The Merzi are humans, by the way. You know, the Craver Guardian is going to be a 4-armed death machine of sadness, while the Human Guardian is going to be a 2-armed defender. Because Cravers look crazy, and I love the way Cravers look. So, and then only Horatio. I hope you know I'm going to just put it. There's going to be so many damn Horatios in this book. It's going to be insane. Because Horatio is the most beautiful man in the galaxy. Craver, Mercy. Alright. Alright. Okay. Getting sleepy. Even though I shouldn't be. Okay, so we'll use attributes, large number of skills tied to the classes, and if we that might not be a bad idea either. Something like this. Pretty much the more in tune you are with your dust. Maybe something like a... That would, in theory, be completely possible. Everyone is just variations of Horatio. Just Horatio Ginyu Force going around the galaxy to save the universe. I mean, come on. I mean, I'd run that campaign in a heartbeat. But, yeah, Horatio throws so many goddamn wrenches into the lore. It's amusing how one man can fuck up so much. Because he is human. That's the thing. He is a Mersey. However, he has pretty much become his own thing because of mass cloning technology. So he is no longer human, but he is human, but also not. So you run into an odd situation where can a Horatio and a human woman make another Horatio? Or do Horatios have to be cloned? Because they're both technically human. He's just a genetic small alteration of Horatio Prime, who is also apparently a millennia-old immortal god king. But also not. Because there can be 2 Horatio Primes. But not. You're understanding now where lore is getting a little bit wickety whack. But every child is simply variations of Horatio. Yeah, I would probably. We would probably be a little bit of both. In all honesty, you'd probably be like, "Oh, hey, oh, look at our beautiful child, Horatio 77776," being like, "Ah, yes, our beautiful child. We will name him Horatio," and he looks just like Horatio, except he isn't perfect. It's not a perfect looking Horatio. It's like some weird offspring of Horatio that doesn't quite look right. I've said Horatio too much, and that's on purpose. But yeah, in an ideal world, what I would like to have happen is that you have a Craver, a Mersey, Horatio, and a Sophon in the same party doing their own thing and also being their own characters. I'm like, hello everyone, it's me, our friendly neighborhood counselor Craver, who's buffed up his diplomacy to insane degrees, And do you really want to fuck with the four-armed super monster who wants to befriend you? I don't think so. Like, the complicated races are mostly going to be the unnatural ones. Big ones are going to be the robotic ones. The humans are just gonna. I'm probably just gonna fold them all into Mersey. Everyone is just a Mersey, which most likely will also. Most likely, Mersey will simply be the baseline for everything. We can build everything off that. So robotic is going to be a problem. What I'm going to call is incredibly alien. We will not be able to use the Unfallen. Is that what they're called? Not the Unfallen. What are you? The Umbral Choir, that's it. Like, you wouldn't be able to use the Umbral Choir. Even though they do have heroes. And the answer is, why can't I use the Umbral Choir? Is because they're fuck you. That'll be one of those weird, like, yeah, there's not much. Like, Umbral Choir is going to be that. The Amoebas, the, I can see it. I can, Harmony. We won't be able to use those. For just the simple fact, yes, you cannot be the intergalactic space Jew fart. Yeah, sorry, Craver Relief Fund's not here, but they're one of those ones where it's like, in lore, they are like this unified consciousness. Like, everyone is the same, and we are the Umbral Choir, and we've spoken together in unison, and we are one with the galaxy. Look at us. We will save the world. We will save this galaxy by hacking everyone. But it's like they also have. It's weird if you read the lore section. They have like a single like line saying, "But then they came into contact with the Riftborn and shattered into 1,000 bajillion pieces." Yeah, and it's like that's not a very good reason why they have heroes. That's one of those other ones where it's like lore says X, game says Y. How do you mitigate both of those? I would say the other kind of complicated one, actually, not really. I wouldn't say really complicated. But I would say the hardest part is someone's going to inevitably ask what are the endless stats, because there are endless in the game. Actually, there's a few endless. They're all sad creatures, and you should always put them down. But we'll worry about that. But those are going to be the two main issues, really. How do you deal with the endless? How do you deal with robotic creatures? How are you going to deal with incredibly alien ones? So, using this system should work as planned. Yeah, will have to be built using point by. We're not even going to think about the Endless Legend ones. Because actually, here, let me... Because Endless Legend is weird. Because you have things like... no, go away. Go away, ads. Like, the Broken Lords. These guys are literally dust monsters. They are resurrected using dust, and they are... that. That's just who they are. However... the catch being you also have where are you? where are the really, like, the cultist, ardent mages, the vaulters, even though fucking Amplitude has a fetish for those fuckers. Like, all of these various races are usually pretty normal, except when they're not. That's kind of the issue. Some of the side factions get a little bit weird. It's like, oh, okay, like why can't you're unseeing terraforming robots? All right, cool, whatever. But all right, I think we got a good basis of things. We've got our system right here. This part's going to be a little bit complicated, but I think we can get it done. I would say the meat of this game is going to come right here. That's where the meat of this game, the meat of this entire series is going to come. It's going to be the building of the races. Hopefully, because I already have things in Slaves of Chaos, it should be relatively easy to transfer over. The second one is going to be this. Get ready for more equipment autism. Help. But I think those are going to be the two main just numbers. That's just going to be a lot of numbers and a lot of ups and downs. Because you got to factor in things like titanium. Well, actually, yeah, that's a stop writing things, Notepad. You're getting tired. Because what I would like to do is have like, oh, I'm going to bring my TL2 sword with me all the way to TL7, actually TL like 6, like TL, let's say TL side sword, but it's going to be like a titanium sword. You know, with a bunch of, you know, cool stuff on top of it. What'll probably, like, one thing I'm kind of worried about is how do you make the TL2 sword not effective as a TL5, which I may have, like, honestly, there might be tech level armors. That might also be a thing. Like this is a TL5 armor. Anything below that doesn't do any damage, or like anything within 1 doesn't do any damage. I don't know. Think about that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call it here. It's 1:30 in the morning. So we will start officially on Friday. Tomorrow. Yeah. We'll start officially on Friday, getting everything set up. However, probably today I'll be setting up the main document here, getting all the preliminary stuff done, because that's not very fun to watch. And outside of that, we will, in the attempt anyway, get things to work. We also have, I would also like to introduce to you the Visona of this series. I couldn't get a real one, so I instead just took a fat Lumeris and photoshopped my face over it. And you may be wondering, Notepad, that's just a PNG. However, drum roll please. Haha! Glitches out because he's a hologram. That took me an hour to do. Yeah, it's the fat Lumeris. He's one of my favorite actual guys because he's just funny. But yeah, this was actually not surprisingly difficult to do, because his entire like bottom half here, I actually had to do some finagling there. And if you here, let me zoom in a little bit more. As you notice, he is holding a chicken nugget. That hand took like 15 minutes to do because of how it was done and me having just to go through and get his damn hand grabbing that goddamn chicken nugget. The things I do for my shit posts. But yeah, that's what we're going to be using. Yeah, he put on a few pounds, but he's my boy. But thank you all for watching. I know today was a little bit more of Notepad has a schizophrenic episode trying to figure out how to do math properly. But on Friday we will be starting the official start of it. We'll probably be doing the basic system. It'll be basic system work and kind of making sure characters function the way I want them to. Actually, no, we wouldn't be able to do that first. We'd have to go through character creation first. We'll play it by ear. I'll decide on it. And this Saturday, actually, we're going to be doing a curious case of 4 different games. We're going to be reviewing 4 very odd little games called Morkborg, Troika, Hillfolk, and Hollow Earth Expedition. So, we're going to be looking at those 4, so be there, be square, or wait till I upload it on YouTube eventually. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Godspeed, good luck, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.